Hi, I'm Vanessa. Welcome to my sewing room. I know that with all the busyness of summer brings, especially in my house, it's hard to find a little time to sew. So I got a little today, and so I'm going to do an upcycle actually. I have my husband's old jeans here, and we're going to upcycle these into a bag. I absolutely love the chaos of summer. I don't like all the flies in my house, but I do love having friends stop by all the time. But it makes my house pretty noisy, so I'm very excited to have a quiet time today. So we're going to be making this bucket bag, and I am so excited about this, but I'm not the biggest bag maker. So I do like this pattern because it's very easy to make, but I'm still going to have some cheats here because let's face it, I didn't buy fabric, right? I'm using my husband's jeans. So I found this adorable strap on Amazon. So it already has a hardware already on it, and they have so many cute designs. This one, I wanted to go more boho. I know this is not as boho as I could have gotten, but I really do like this. So this was around $7. So you can probably buy them cheaper, or you can buy them really nice and intricate for around $15. And then I also got, so I had these for a while. They're actually magnetic clasps that you sew on. So we're gonna be using those today. And then I have some remnant fabric to go with my strap, some thread to match, and then I have some D-rings from a project that I did with my daughter. So we're gonna use all of these, and hopefully by the end, we come out with a bag that I'm going to love. Let's get to the cutting table. Okay, I am so excited to give new life to these old jeans. I'm for sure my husband has had these since before we even met. So cutting them up and making them into something new is going to be so exciting. So I'm cutting along the outside seam so I can open these wide. I really like the thread on these jeans, so I want to use the inseam as the center of my bag to give it a little detail that I didn't have to sew. I also want to use this pocket. Men's pockets are so great. They are definitely the right size for a cell phone. So I'm going to save this pocket and use it for my inside pocket. Now, as you can see, I am lining my pattern up with the inseam on the middle, and I want to make sure here that my lines are even. When you have a projector, and this is a short throw projector, it can kind of mess with your lines having thicker pieces of your fabric and thinner. So a quilting square is definitely essential here, and you just want to make sure that your lines are nicely placed. Now you can see that there is a solid line and a dotted line. The dotted line is actually for you to be able to cut interfacing on, and because this jean fabric is so thick, I didn't need to cut interfacing on it, but I did cut it when I did the liner. So I like to fold it over onto its side when I'm cutting out the corners just to make sure that they are lining up. And I do it with my scissors because a rotary is hard to get into those edges. And when I open up here, you can see that everything is lining up perfectly. Now I want to use as much of these jeans as possible. So here I'm cutting off 2 belt loops. I'm using these to hold my D-ring, and I'll show you that a little further along. I also want to make sure that the front and back line up. And so this helps me cut the back of my bag out, making sure that the inseams are lining up and the patterns matching. So there's different fade lines on this, and I want it to be matching each other. So that's why I'm using it and the projector to make sure that everything is going to fit perfectly once I get to my sewing machines. I think any success with any project is that you have everything perfectly marked and cut, so I'm chalking in where the clasps go on my purse. Since my strap is pink, I want to make sure that the inside of my purse matches that adorable strap. So this one has the cream and pink, and so we're going to be using this as a liner, and it's just some scrap fabric that I have left over, so I'm not buying anything new for this project except for the strap. And again, right here, I just want to make sure that I'm cutting those corners and not going too far. So here I am cutting it with a rotary because the fabric is not as thick. But make sure, just sometimes I think using scissors is definitely better in corners. But it's what works best for you. So to add the pocket that was on the jeans, I want to make sure that I have a straight edge, and then this is where I'm going to be sewing it at. Now I want to first distress the edges before I sew it on so it looks like it belongs and gives it another added detail to the inside of my purse. So I'm just taking my seam ripper and I'm just pulling some threads all the way around, but not too deep. I think this pocket is going to be so adorable. So after I've lined up my pocket where I want it to be, I flip it over and then I have right sides together and I pin it down, and here I'm sewing on that chalk line and making sure that I'm not sewing my pocket shut. And then from here, I can flip it back down and you'll be top stitching the rest of the pocket down. And you can see what it looks like right here. Now you could unpick the pocket and then top stitch it down, but personally I like the frayed edges along the sides, and I also think it's a lot easier. Now, when working with jean fabric, it is really thick. And so you want to make sure that you're going a little bit slower than normal. So on this speed at the top of my machine, I actually turn it down. I know I've sped this up, but as I'm sewing, I'm actually sewing this whole thing at a medium speed. And sometimes I even lower it down to a slow. So I do have interfacing on the lining, and this is a little thicker interfacing meant for bags, but if you don't sew a lot of bags, it's okay to use whatever interfacing you have if you're going to be upcycling a pair of jeans, just because jeans are a little thicker. What I like about using men's jeans instead of women's is that women's jeans tend to have a lot of spandex built into them, and so they're going to have a little stretch. Now, I think this looks so adorable already. I'm like, at this point, I'm getting so excited. So this is on the inside of my bag, and you want to have jean on the first about 1.5 inches. And this is in the pattern. This pattern is such an easy one to follow. If you are new to bags, I definitely suggest it because it is very, very easy. So once you sew on this top lip, you can see how it starts coming together, and it is so cute. I honestly think that I could have flipped the bag to have the fabric and the pocket on the outside and the jean on the inside, because this came together so darling. Now I'm top stitching on that little lip of fabric right here at 1/4 inch. So this is the liner, the front and the back, and I put right sides together, and I'm going to sew all the way around, except for I need to leave a little opening at the bottom, which I forgot to do because in the pattern you have a pocket that you leave open, and that's how you flip it. But since I'm using the jean pocket, I don't have an opening right there in order to do that. So I sewed it all the way across, and then I remembered that I needed to seam rip and open it. So I'll show you that here in a minute to show you how big of a space that you need. But if you decide to do the pattern just like the instructions show, you'll have a nice space inside the pocket to be able to flip it. So here am I unpicking a nice 2-inch opening at the bottom of my purse so I can flip it. Now you're going to be putting those edges together to make a box corner. And you want to make sure that your seams are ironed open as you're sewing this. Now the hardest part is to make sure that you have it folded correctly and one side is not longer than the other. Now this is my front of my bag that we're making now. And again, you're going to be doing the outside edges, but leaving those corners open and then opening them flat with the seams opened. And then you have the outside of your bag. And those are my handy belt loops that I took off to hold my D-rings. You need to make sure that your D-rings are attached and that you have them sitting on the inside of your bag, so when you put the outside of your bag in to top stitch, it is going to be on the outside. Now go very slow over very thick fabric. I slow down my machine to the slowest setting before I stitch those on. And then my liner went inside of the outside of my bag, and you want to make sure that everything is lined up. And as you can see, those sides are so thick, but I did not break a needle on this project. Every time I came to a very thick part of fabric, I just slowed it to the slowest settings, and I went as gently as I could over them. As you can see right here, we have a thick part, and again, just nice and slow, and your needle will not get stuck, and then you can speed up on the rest of it. I think sometimes we get so used to taking our sewing projects quickly that we don't realize that sometimes speed is a huge factor on how things turn out. And this is absolutely a case when you're sewing bags. You want to make sure that you're careful. Now here I can turn out my bag with that little hole on the inside, and this was a little harder to turn out than I imagined, but as you can see, here's my bag, and I'm going to be top stitching around the top of it. This is at 1/4 seam allowance, and I'm using some cream thread that is matching that center, and as you can see, I just slowed it down to get over that, and then I went back and speeded it up. And then right here is another very thick spot, and so I slowed it down and I'm going over. So as I'm going slowly over this belt loop with the D-ring, I have to say it looks so cute already. I love this pattern. It is just one of those, it's a simple bag, but I think it's one of those that you'll always love. Everyone loves to have a bucket bag, and I'm not too into intricate bags, so this is right up my alley. I will sew this regardless if I'm a beginner or if I'm a pro bag maker. I just think bucket bags are adorable and they're practical. And this one has two different size options. I'm sewing up that opening at the bottom of my bag, so I will have it fully shut, and I'm just putting the edges together. Now here I'm sewing on, this is another quick trick that I've learned, is these sew on magnetic clips. Make it so easy. You don't have to sew it on in the early stages and you might accidentally hit it with your needle. It's just one of those, if you're not fully comfortable with doing a purse with all the intricate details with it, having a sew on clasp is great. So you just sew on like a button using the corners, and then you want to make sure that you're only going through that inside. That's why it's taking me a little time, because I'm being extra careful here. And then to give it a little detail, I got these little tags, and I just thought it'd be really fun to put it on the front because it is authentic. It's authentically me made. And so I'm going to attach it to the front just for a fun little detail. That's what I really like about making my own bags, is that I get to decide what details I want and how far I want to take it. Even though I'm not the biggest bag maker, when I do, I absolutely enjoy it because there's so many options. Just like this casual bag. I love how it turned out. The jean fabric is so adorable, and this pocket is going to be perfect for my phone. And I personally think this strap went so well. So what do you think of my Michelle bucket bag? I personally love this size. It's perfect for everyday wear, whether I am wearing a dress or here I took it camping. I hope you give this bag a try and the many others that Ellie and Mac has. Thank you so much for watching. A like and subscribe would be amazing. Have a wonderful day.